Welcome, curious minds, to the Eloquent Explorers. Here, we unlock the magic of words, explore powerful ideas, and make learning English fun and easy. Join us and let's embark on this journey together. The chapter that we are covering today is The Lake Isle of Innisfree by William Butler Yeats from the book Beehive that has been prescribed by CBSE for grade 9th. Now in this video, we're going to cover about the author, introduction to the poem, line-by-line explanation of the poem, its major themes, and literary devices that have been used throughout the poem. So without further ado, let's get into it. William Butler Yeats was an Irish poet, playwright, and one of the most important figures in modern literature. He was known for blending Irish folklore, mythology, and mysticism with personal themes. He was born in Dublin, Ireland in 1865. Students, I want you all to open your map and to check where Ireland is on the map and comment below what all its surrounding nations and water bodies are. Okay? Now he was born in Dublin that is in Ireland in 1865, and he grew up surrounded by Irish landscapes and legends, which greatly influenced his poetry. We will also see the influence of such landscapes and legends in this poem, The Lake Isle of Innisfree, that we are getting into in a few minutes. Yeats was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1923, making him one of the first Irish writers to receive this honor. Now, this information is important if you are preparing for any exam that involves some poem that has this poem prescribed in the syllabus. So you can note this down, and it is also important to understand the background of the author in order to comprehend what the author wants to convey. So that was about the author, and now let's move to introduction to the poem. Now here we're going to understand the background of the poem so that we can understand the poem better. Now, The Lake Isle of Innisfree was written in 1890, inspired by Yeats' longing for a peaceful retreat away from the city life. Now, in this poem, we're going to see throughout the poem that the poet is expressing his desire to go to this place that is Innisfree, which is a small island in Ireland. He wants to go there and he wants to spend a peaceful life over there, because he's really tired and he's really sick of the hustle and bustle of the city. He's not a fan of the city life and the hectic life that he's living, and he just wants to go back to a peaceful countryside life that's nearby the lake on Innisfree. Okay, so as I told you, Innisfree is an actual small island in Ireland that symbolized peace and nature for Yeats. Now, Yeats imagines a simple natural life at Innisfree, which he has described through various vivid imagery, emphasizing a self-sustained and harmonious lifestyle. Harmonious with what? Harmonious with nature. So he wants to go to this island, Innisfree, which is in Ireland, and he wants to just live a natural life at Innisfree. He wants to live a simple life over there, which he emphasizes that should be self-sustained. That means he wants to grow his own crops, he wants to rear his own bees, and he doesn't want to go and he doesn't want to have to shop. And so he just emphasizes that he wants a self-sustained and harmonious life. He describes the sounds, colors, and tranquility of the island to evoke a feeling of peace. Now, how he has explained or how he has expressed the feeling of peace is through the description of the various sounds, colors, and the tranquility of the island. The word tranquility is the synonym for peace. So he's trying to evoke a feeling, he's trying to arise a feeling of peace in the reader's hearts through the description of sounds, colors, and the peacefulness of the island. The poem resonates with people's desire for simplicity and calm, especially in today's busy world. Its imagery captures the beauty of nature, creating a vivid mental picture for readers. So, as I explained to you before as well, that this poem is widely read because every person who longs for peace can actually connect with the poem. Every person who wants to go back to the simplicity and the calmness of the life, especially if you see that your grandparents and your parents also nowadays, they always long to go to their villages, they always desire to go back to their countrysides, to the rural areas, so that they can enjoy a calm life and a peaceful life and a simple life, that as compared to the busy life in today's world. And how he has shown the beauty of the nature and the tranquility that a person desires is through the imagery that has actually captured the beauty of nature, that creates a vivid mental picture for the readers. Now let's get into the explanation of the poem. I will be reading out the lines of the poem, so I want all of you, if you still do not have your notebooks and pens, please grab a small notebook or and a pen, and make sure you write down the important points. If you don't want to grab the notebook and pen, make sure while you're listening to the video, you comment the keywords from the poem in the comments. Okay, write down the keywords down there. All right, and I'm going to read the poem and I'm going to explain. So, I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for honey bee, and live alone in the bee loud glade. Now he says in this poem is that what he wants to say is that he wants to get up, he wants to leave everything that there is in the city and move towards Innisfree. He wants to go to Innisfree, which I just explained is an island in Ireland. And there, what he wants to do is to build a small cabin. Okay, and he wants to build a cabin of clay and wattles. Quickly comment, what does wattles mean? The word wattles is used to represent the twisted sticks that are used to make fences. Okay, so he wants to build a small cabin of clay and wattles, that's sticks, and he also wants to make 9 bean rows over there. So he's going to plant his own beans so that he can grow his own crop, and he doesn't have to go to the city or any marketplace to get his food, as we talked about the self-sustained way that he wants to live. And he also wants to make a hive for the honeybee, so all he can hear is the loud glade, the loud sounds of the bees buzzing in the glade. What's the meaning of the word glade? Quickly write it down in the comments. Okay, so he wants to live in that free area, in that open area, in that open space where he can hear the loud buzzing of the bees, and he wants to create a hive for the honeybees. I hope this much is clear. Let's move forward to the next stanza. Now in the second stanza, we will see how the poet has used various vivid imagery to show how the nature can be peaceful, or how one can attain peace in the nature, through nature, okay, or how nature provides peace and tranquility to people, okay, and the reason why he wishes to go to Innisfree. So he says that, and I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. The midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. Now you can see here this little bird is a linnet. Okay, so he says that when he goes to Innisfree, he says that he shall have some peace there. He'll find the peace there, and how he will find the peace is because peace comes dropping slow. That means what the poet is trying to explain here is that there is peacefulness when things go slow. Okay, when we're not rushing. Okay, when we are rushing, when you are involved in some hectic routine, you cannot be peaceful. Okay, we all find peace when we come back to our homes, and then we just relax, we sit, and we just don't want to move. That's where we find peace. So here, by the line, the for peace comes dropping slow, by this phrase, the poet just wants to tell us that There is peacefulness when the life has slowed down as compared to when we are living a hectic life. And again, he says that he's going to find peace in the lakeside in Innisfree when he lives on his own. Okay, dropping from the wails of the morning to where the cricket sings. So he says that over there in this island, on this island, and in the place in Innisfree, he says that he will find peace dropping from the wails of the morning. So you can see here that veils. What are veils? Veils are a cloth covering that the females use, specifically the brides. They use them to cover their faces. Okay. Now, if you see a Christian bride, you'll see that her veil is white, milky white. Okay. So from here, the poet has used veils as a metaphor for the mist that you see in the morning sky. So he says that he'll find peace that drops from the veils of the morning. That means he'll find peace in the misty morning, to where the crickets sing. Now you'll hear the crickets in the evening. Alright. So he says that he will find peace from morning to evening, from the misty weather of the morning to the sound of the crickets in the evening. And then he'll also find peace in the midnight where everything is glimmering. Okay. Now, if you see in the cities, if you look up at the sky at night, you will not see as many stars as you will see if you go to a rural place. Okay, if you go to a countryside or a village. So he says that he will find peace in the midnight's glimmer, when he'll be able to see all the stars and the moon there shining brightly. And when the noon is purple glow, okay, when the noon is glowing in that purplish shade, sometimes during the summers you will see that the clouds are pinkish and purplish during the noon. Okay, so he says that he's going to experience peacefulness in that purple glow of the noon and the glimmer of the midnight, which he cannot find in the city. And evening full of the linnet's wings. And he says that he's going to enjoy the evenings watching the linnets fly back home after they have roamed around, after they've flown around during the day to find their food. They'll be coming back to their nests, and he says that he's going to find the peace there. Okay, he'll be peaceful in such places. Now here you can see that the poet has used such vivid imagery. The poet has used so many different imageries, things that you can see, things that you can feel, things that you can relate to. Okay, even the bright beautiful colors like purple glow and the glimmering and the veil, all these, and the linnet's wings, all these are the imagery that the poet has used to explain to us how peaceful nature is and how nature provides us peace. Finally, in the last stanza, we will see how impatient the poet is to go to Innisfree and what he longs to do over there. Okay? I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with the low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavements grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. Now the poet here, you can, as I just said, you can see that the poet is impatient. He just wants to leave everything at that moment and just go to Innisfree and to stay there forever, for always night and day. He never wants to return to the city. Over there, now he says that even in the city, he hears the sound of the lake water. He hears the sound of the low sounds of the lake water by the shore, that when the water hits the shore, the sound that it makes, he can hear that. Okay, even while he stands on the roadway or on the pavements that are grey. Pavements, what are pavements? Quickly write down in the comments, what are pavements? What is the meaning of pavements? Yes, the pavements are the greyish footpath that are made alongside the road so that people can walk on them. Okay, so he says that even when he stands on the roadways or on the pavements that are grey, he can hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. And where does he hear it? He cannot hear it from his ears, but He hear it deep within his heart, because he can feel, he expresses his longing, his desire to go back to Innisfree, to go to Innisfree and never to return to the city, his desire for a peaceful life. So here we end this beautiful poem, and further we are now going to discuss the themes and the major literary devices that have been used in the poem. Major themes of this poem are desire for peace and solitude. You can see that throughout the poem, the poet expresses a longing to escape the noise of the city life and to find peace in nature. Connection to nature. Here the poet has throughout highlighted the beauty and simplicity of nature through vivid imagery. Yearning for simplicity. Here we have seen how the poet longs for a simple life on Innisfree, where he will grow his own crops, and he will make hives for the honeybees so that he can get honey from it. Okay, and the next theme is inner peace and spiritual fulfillment. Here Innisfree represents a mental escape to find inner calm. In the last few lines, you can see that the poet is thinking. He can even hear the lake water lapping. He can hear the sounds of the lake water in his deep heart's core. Okay, deep within his heart, he can hear the sound. So here you can see that Innisfree represents a mental escape. He is imagining, he's thinking. You can say he's daydreaming about Innisfree and about his life in Innisfree, and he's using that as an escape to find inner calm. He's using that as an escape from this busy city life that he is in, and to find the calmness, the peace that he's longing for, that he is not able to find in the city life. Escape from modern life. Here this poem reflects Yeats' wishes to escape to urban life. Okay, he wants to escape urban life. My apologies. Here this poem, again, as I have been explaining so far, Yeats wants to escape urban life. He wants to move to rural life. He wants to enjoy the slow, the calm life of the villages, of the countryside, of his life at Innisfree. Okay, so throughout the poem we can see that the theme of escapism from modern life has been reflected. Now let's move to the major literary devices that have been used throughout the poem. I will be explaining to you the literary devices through examples. The first literary device that has been used is imagery. Imagery is when a poet uses words in such a way that a person can imagine what the poet is trying to say. When you're able to visualize what the poet is trying to make you see in your heads, that's imagery. So here you can see that Yeats has created vivid pictures of nature, like a small cabin, be loud glade, purple glow, and so on and so forth. These images have helped readers visualize the beauty and tranquility of Innisfree. The second one is alliteration. It is the repetition of initial consonant sounds. Okay, what are consonants? I hope we all are clear. Now, I'm not saying that it's the repetition of consonants. Please make sure, because a lot of people get confused in this. Alliteration is the repetition of initial. Initial means the starting ones. Okay, so repetition of initial consonant sounds, not the letters, the sounds. Okay, such as in lake water lapping and I will arise and go. Okay, majorly in lake water lapping, you can see, you can hear the sound of l repeating. Okay, so the initial consonant sound is the one that when it's repeating, it's alliteration. This is used to create musical rhythm and to enhance the poem's peaceful tone. Now the next one is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds. Okay, here in alliteration we saw that there was a repetition of consonant sounds. Now assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds. Now these sounds, when they are repeated within the words, okay, as in the second part or the third part of the word, and you see that the sound has been repeated the similar sound has been repeated in various words that have been put close by, that's what is called the repetition of vowel sounds. For example, I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. Now, this assonance gives the lines a soothing, flowing quality that reflects the calm of the lake. So, generally, you will see that the literary devices are used to give some rhythm to the poem. Okay, so that you can feel the flowy nature of the poem. Now, the next is personification. This is, I hope you're all clear with personification. It means when you give human like attributions, human like qualities to non human objects. Okay, just make sure that you're not thinking about non living, because even if you give human attributes, human characteristics to living objects but which are not human, that is also personification. So, here, for example, the phrase peace comes dropping slow. Okay, how can peace drop slowly? All right, so it's a personification here. All right, coming slowly is an attribute of humans which has been given to peace. All right, so here it is personification. Then you have repetition of this phrase, I will arise and go now, just to emphasize the strength, the depth of the longing of Yeats to escape to Innisfree. Alright, repetition is when you are using the same phrase more than once. Alright, then we have metaphor. Here you can see that the island Innisfree is a symbol of peace and escape from stress. Okay, so here the poet has used Innisfree to symbolize peace and to symbolize an escape from stress. Alright, so it is a metaphor here. So these are all your literary devices, and with this we end today's lecture. I hope you have learned, you've understood the poem very well, and you've understood its background and all the important details about it. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you have any queries, feel free to ask. If you need any specific video on any specific chapter, please feel free to comment. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and to share it with everyone who can utilize the information. I wish you all the very best for your upcoming exams, and stay tuned, for I will be coming with more such videos. Until then, take care, and I'll see you again in the next video.